13:55 on the 11th of August 2023, and I'm uploading for the interest of women and children's rights that have been highly damaged in Tralee, County Kerry, due to politicians up in Dublin that think they have a control about my academic credentials and achievements from the University of Limerick and the private colleges that I've attended, that have brought about the legislation that they've subjected to fraud. COVID-19 has come about as a consequence of my Narcotics Anonymous recovery advocacy with young people as an educator and a humanitarian. And there are politicians up in Dublin that have denigrated me, disrespected my child's upbringing, disrespected his life. They disrespected the church and my O'Higgins ancestors, my Lynch ancestors, all my family members. From every royal family that I represent, the seats up in Dublin that are taking a wage and offending the Constitution have damaged the credentials, achievements and accomplishments that have culminated as humanitarianism, and therefore the issue of the heresy and the blasphemy has continued in this community. So since experiencing adultery and bigamy between the period of 2018 and 2021, this is for the interest of Britain, there was a huge endeavour I took on to address the blasphemy in this community that was worse than witchcraft. It wasn't even witchcraft, it was very dangerous voodoo. So that was all associated with money laundering, and that was all associated with crime, and that was shortchanging people, and there were shortfalls like there still is today in this community by people unlawfully in my proximity right now that are really not making the situation any better. The people that have been intruding upon my address at Rock Street and that have been discussing my farms in Ardfert and Kilflynn while assisting crimes against the church, and that have been supporting bigamy or adultery or anything of the sort that would insult me or my royal titles, are really not acting in the best interests of their own safety or personal integrity. Now, there are repeat offenders that have been of offences against the United Kingdom, and they have assisted financial crime. Now, I'm experiencing financial crime in this community since 2006, and the culprits have, since attempting treason against my royal titles, really incurred awful damages upon themselves. They have practiced in bad faith, they have practiced in bad business, they have transacted in bad monies, they have transacted in bad relations, publicity and otherwise, private also, and they have not observed professionalism. So I'm a professional, I'm a royal humanitarian. I've represented Ireland, I've represented the President's office. Now, the President's office is fully aware that it's little arrangement with young people, well, it's a huge arrangement, what am I saying? That arrangement with young people at home and abroad with the award, the President's Award, is absolutely an astounding achievement. Now, unfortunately, that's been degraded and belittled by poor politicians that are of the poor mentality and the poor begrudgery of the Troubles, causing the Troubles in Ireland. Now, my humanitarianism has affected north and south of the border, and that is in the capacity of a Narcotics Anonymous recovery advocate. Now, Brexit has been in another dimension. The issue of the fraud that I have experienced is implicated in all of this. And funnily enough, I've worked for 3 state departments as a royal, namely Education, Agriculture and Family Protection. And the state of my birth is refusing to honour the democracy and its constitution, and it seems to be resorting to very, very unsafe character assassinations that are fond of the words erratic and volatile. Now, slander of character with a person like myself here, and any other person for that matter, any character assassination of individuals that don't interact, that don't meet firsthand or like have firsthand experience, are really safer on the side of caution with regard to their choice of words or their choice of actions when they don't know who they're actually offending. Now, if you don't know the titles I hold, and if you're offending my titles, I'm wondering, do you know who you're discussing or disrespecting? So there's an issue about people in this community that are talking out of place and talking about matters where they have no position. And that's why I've contacted the United Nations and the European Court of Human Rights. But politicians up in Dublin have decided to disrespect the constitution of my forefathers, and they have disrespected democracy, and they've brought awful repercussions on this situation for women and children. Now, the departments that I have provided my expertise to have full awareness, and there would still be the dogs on the street telling me that I have not worked for agriculture, education and family protection, and that's the barefaced level of lying that I'm contending with. So these people have resorted to slander, false reporting, disinformation and lies and falsehoods that are putting everybody in an awful risk. So those people that have disrespected the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous, those people in this community that are disturbing the peace, are pushing the doctors that have offended the Hippocratic Oath in further risk. Those that everybody knows, anyone that has offended the Hippocratic Oath, you're automatically blacklisted. You're automatically struck for offending the Hippocratic Oath. Anyone would know that. And the world and his mother knows as well that there's a silly little collective in County Kerry of PR stunts that are offending my nuptials and my little baby boy, who's now nearly 8 years of age, a missing person, because of people neurotic about property where they're not even safe talking about or trespassing on. So it's quite dangerous what's going on. The United Nations, I'm absolutely baffled that any representatives of the United Nations would partake in any grubby behaviour of the decrepit intentions of the poor mouths, slandering my good name, disrespecting COVID-19 protocol. Narcotics Anonymous is a fabulous fellowship. My anonymity has been breached in this community. My anonymity was offended in this community. And unfortunately, I've had to do a documentary, and it's about humanitarianism and these people of corruption in the southwest of Ireland that have been corruption orientated since 2006, 2007. And they have inherently caused the most dangerous faith issues with the blasphemy and heresy that they've also incorporated into their initiative that has caused mental illness. Now, they have ignored that I have a spiritual purpose. They have lied through their teeth in denial and distortion and disrespect against every faith that I am incorporated with by birth and natural law. And they have intruded upon me with the height of ignorance, and they have disrespected the role of Eleanor Roosevelt and the Declaration of Human Rights. These people have absolutely no authority. They have no trustworthy credibility. They have absolutely no entitlement, and they haven't got a shred of dignity in the slightest action that they make or in the slightest pound or penny that they spend. So at the moment, there's retaliatory offences occurring. Those people that were money laundering and stealing wealth from me and interfering with my child and his upbringing are all causing retaliatory crimes against my good name and my legislation, whether they like to put